Dan Snyder, the longtime owner of the Washington Redskins and now Commanders, continues to be in the spotlight, and he says he has dirt on every owner, including Roger Goodell, and that he will not be forced to sell his team.
You know, look, at first when you hear something like this, you kind of laugh it off. You're like, yeah, right, ha. But if you really look into it, the stuff that Dan Snyder's got away with since he's been there, it makes you think it may be a little bit true. I'll tell you something I found hilarious. Dan said that all the owners hate each other, and then they asked another owner, and the owner said, no, we just all hate Dan. I actually believe this. I think he does. I think he has hired private investigative firms. I think this man does. Because I think when you operate at that level, when you're a billionaire, I think the rules are different than I think it's hard for us sitting here, and most of our audience, I'm guessing, is not billionaires. If you are, hey, throw a dono in there. But they operate in a different world. Mm-hmm. I think there's different rules. And when we hear something like this, to us, we're like, what? Like, I would never hire a private investigative firm to go see what Blaine's doing. I already know. I would never hire a private investigative firm.
What are you up to, Blaine?
Yeah, to go see what Cohn's doing. That's not something that would happen in the realm of who I know and how I live my life. But in a billionaire's realm, when I'm guessing you probably have people coming at you all the time, there's no telling, not just family coming out of the woodwork, but all types of stuff. I would not be surprised in the least if this was real. And you know what? Part of me wants it to be real because I think Roger Goodell is one of the biggest, for lack of a better term, douchebags that there is. I think he's one of the biggest ones. I think he's overpaid. I think he does a horrible job. I think he's a yes man. I think all he does is care about optics and he has no true values. And I hope Dan Snyder's got something on him. Am I for tattletales? You know, am I going to run in there and mommy, you know, he hit me? No. This is a little bit different. They're trying to take away his baby. To me, Dan Snyder views the Redskins as his child. That organization is his child. He's gone through a lot with it, and he does crazy stuff. But I think he is going to defend this until the end, and I think he does have dirt. I think he has dirt on the other owners, and I'm so interested to see. The NFL is the greatest soap opera of all time. It continues to be that, and this is another great example of it. And if they try and push him out, I think you are going to see things come to light. And you're going to have to balance, if you're Roger Goodell looking at it, if he does got some on you, which I bet he does, because I know you're not clean, Roger. Sure. I know you're not clean. And I don't think he'd come out here and just say this. I think he'd go another route about, you know, something else or go down a different road. But man, I feel like this is true.
Well, we don't know Dan Snyder personally, right?
No.
And not all good men are nice, and not all nice men are good. You know, it seems by all accounts he's not a nice guy. He's always causing problems and things like that. And everyone else can be held accountable in an organization. Players, you're done. Bring me your playbook. Coaches, GMs, owners rarely get held accountable. So when we see these situations where we are trying to hold owners accountable and maybe force an owner to sell a team because it's just not working out, I understand the philosophy, but you're going to have to be more specific for me than just using the word toxic, right? Or using the word problematic. What did he actually do, and is it worth 24 other owners, because that's what it would take, to vote him out? We can't just say, oh, well, you know, he's mean to some of his employees or we're having an investigation. I know a lot of times where there's smoke, there's fire, and I probably wouldn't want to hang around this guy. I don't think I'd like to work for this guy. At the same time, you're going to have to provide some proof if we're going to have to force this guy to sell his team.
And the accusations, there's a lot of accusations of stuff that has gone on planes and with women and stuff. You have to prove it. Like you said, I'm with you. You have to prove it. You can't just say it's toxic. I'm 100% with you on that, because if that would set a horrible precedent. But we've seen owners. You saw the Dolphins owner get slapped a little bit. Stephen Ross gets slapped a little bit. We saw the deal with Robert Kraft, who got off the hook. It was a happy ending for him when it came to the masseuse parlor.
Touché.
But we've seen this a lot in the NBA as well. You know, you had Donald Sterling,
Robert Sarver,
stuff like this. So he is not going down without a fight. Let's go ahead and put it that way.
Oh, if the ship's sinking, Dan's sinking with it. And everybody else, he will burn this thing down before they try to push him out.
Dan Snyder's got a little flaming dragon in him.
If you need an outlet, to come talk about it.
Dan, come on.
Dan,
come on, Dan.
Come on.
Take a seat.
You're safe. It's a trust tree. Tell us what you know.
But if you're the Commanders, I know you won last night, but like what a dysfunctional organization.
bad.
Not good.
You've got this with Dan Snyder. I mean, you already changed your mascot name, which is stupid in the first place. But you have this stuff with Dan Snyder. Your head coach is talking trash about your quarterback, who just had another bad game. It's just, the only good thing was Brian Robinson Jr. coming back. Hey, everybody, hope you enjoyed that content. Take a second, sub to our channel, turn that notification bell on, because we're bringing content all the time, the way you like it. Sports without the woke.